And most often I hear them say they don't have time, they don't have the experience, or they don't have the resources, which is not a surprise. You're a small business owner. You're not a marketing professional, so to say. So we don't expect you to have that digital strategy, but it's important to have that and know the trends and know what is taking place in those spaces. Another fun stat is a third of millennials say that social media is one of their preferred channels for communicating with businesses. Now, I don't exactly fall into the millennial category anymore. I'm almost there, but I'm a little outside that range. But I am still one of those that fall into that category of preferring to communicate with businesses via social media. Just the other day, I was tweeting with Samsung when trying to fix an issue with my phone, and they were a huge help just using Twitter alone. The next one is first step in getting to know your data. The most important part in digital strategy is getting to know your data. That might sound like a little bit high-level information here, but I promise you, I'm going to try to make it understandable for you and how you can make it replicable to your business. So the first step, getting to know your business. This is data. Everyone remember data from Star Trek? Anybody? I'm a big fan of this skip here, so I'm just going to let it sit for a second. So data is the #1 key to a good decision. Why? What is social data? Good question. Social data is all forms of data collected on social media. It's important to know what you're collecting there, and social data looks something like this. Interest, activities, Facebook likes, location data, so on and so forth. It's important to know the types of data that we're looking for as well. And that looks something like this. Traffic, results, trends, conversations, performance data. This is all interesting information for you to know. Traffic, you want to know where your traffic comes from, which social networks, what are the items of content or ads that are performing for the most value for you. And when you start to dig deeper into that, you learn more about your demographic, your audience, the location, the sentiment around your brand, and all the trends that are related to each item or content that's linked to value. And the next thing is results. Tracking conversions and results from content programs and maybe some engagement tactics that you have going on right now. It's important for you to know what's working, what's not, what's converting, what isn't. And the trends. Trends and intelligent data analysis can give you the foresight to react and plan. It's important to know what's working in the entire industry, in the entire space with social media. What's working in your fitness industry might be something different than what's working in your staffing industry. And those things are important to know with trends. Conversations. The ability to listen to real-time conversation data empowers you to really respond quickly. It's a matter of rewarding and sharing positive stories, or maybe it's taking steps to remedy service failures. Listening to what's happening around your brand out there has a lot of value to you, and learning about your customer feelings and sentiment. And the last one, performance data. That's really just a quick overview of how your social channels are going. You can really dig deep into your engagement, to your growth, to your, like I said, again, your sentiment, and how people are performing around your social channels. So, why social data? And Conan, I can totally understand your feelings here. I kind of cry a little bit inside when I have to look at data sometimes too, but it's one of those things, like I said, you have to be there. So why social data? Why is it important? So it's important to know your audience, and it's important to know what's happening out there. So an analysis of your audience can reveal rich insights into social data. And it allows you to do these things right here. These are some really nerdy things. Define buyer personas. What does that mean? It's an audience, buyer persona is who your ideal customer is, how they behave online. It's an audience analysis, allowing you to understand traits and behavior of their current audience. It's allowing you to learn how to serve your current audience and to potentially uncover new audiences. You want to take a deep dive in who those people are and who those people are. So it's kind of understanding your audience and your audience's audience, if that makes sense. Then you want to be able to predict consumer behavior. You want to identify influencers for your brand. That's a huge thing these days. Influencer marketing is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger as each passing day goes on. And then data allows you to identify who your influencers are and what they're saying around your brand. You can track your campaign ROI. That's super important as well. Once again, you want to know what's working with your campaigns, what's working with your ads, what's working with your money that you put out there, what's returning your interest. And you can measure share of voice. Share of voice, basically, for me, is your online visibility. You know, it's taking into consideration such things as your organic search, your pay-per-clicks, your social media. It's all the things that make up your digital marketing as a whole. So all of your entire online footprint is how you can measure your share of voice. What's working out there? Where are you at? What are people saying? What are they doing? You know, it's important to know those things as well. Next, we're going to talk about leveraging social data. How do you make the best use of that? How do you leverage this data? Like, we bring all this information in, all these numbers, all these stats, kind of get a little bit nerdy with these things, and you know, what does that look like when you take all those types of data we just mentioned and make it into something real? It looks like this. Brand positioning assessment. Okay, Jason, what does that mean? Good question. It's basically what people are saying about your brand. You want to know those things. I've said the word sentiment probably 5 times already, but it's important to know what people think about your brand and what they're saying. It's competitive research. I think that's a no-brainer as well when you're looking at data. You know, what are your competitors doing, and what are people saying about them? There's certain tactics of tracking that and looking at that, and using keywords and using search and finding those things. It's campaign planning and measurement. Was it effective? What did people say about it? What did you get out of it? What was your return? You know, if you're launching campaigns, if you're launching big initiatives, you want to know if it's working, what you were measuring, what you need to improve upon for next time. And the next thing is industry trends. Again, we'll echo that one. Industry trends and what's happening in your space and in your industry with those social media channels. Crisis management and prediction. Identify crisis. Identify, you know, what broke, what's happening, what are people saying. You know, how to fix it, how to predict it, how to, you know, check for trends and those patterns. So, data. Where do you get social data? Where does it come from? Does it just appear out of nowhere? Is it in this thing called the cloud? Well, kind of, sort of, but you get it from Facebook. This is a tad little peek into Facebook analytics on their back end. If you're not familiar with this and you run a business, you should probably really get familiar with the Facebook analytics. Get in your business manager, get into the back end of Facebook, click that Insights button, and start just to dig around those things and letting you and showing you what you've done in your Facebook page. You know, how your page likes are growing, how your video views are growing, how your engagement's growing, your reach. And you can dig down into, you know, 7 days, 10 days, 28 days. You know, start taking a look at those things. Get familiar with Facebook's insights. It's very rich. You've got Twitter analytics. The Twitter backend gives you great reporting. You know, go to analytics.twitter.com and you find that stuff there. Google Analytics. This is a big one. This is kind of a big beast. It's a big one to take on, but it is also extremely rich with data. It can provide you with all of your social data, your website data, all the keyword research you'd want, AdWord research, and everything that you would need to build an effective campaign using just data. Are you sick of the word data yet? Because I kind of feel like we might be done with that one, which is leading us to our next point. Media. So the #1 trend in media right now is definitely video. If you are spending any time on Facebook, any time on Instagram or Twitter, if you read any publications, it's all video, video, video. Everybody's talking about video right now, and this is funny to me. Syndicast is a online publication, and a couple of years ago they actually made this prediction that by the end of 2017, video content will represent 74% of all internet traffic. We're not quite there yet, but we are not far from that either. Video content is being consumed on a massive, massive scale. Something along the lines of 1 billion hours a day on YouTube, 100 million hours on Facebook, 10 billion videos are viewed on Snapchat every day. So there is a tremendous amount of videos being viewed online. So the proof about images, let's talk about images, because media isn't just video. It's photographs, it's video, it's infographics, it's all those kind of things. So when it comes to photographs and images, when people hear information, they're likely to remember only 10% of that information 3 days later. However, if a relevant image is paired with that same information, people retain that information 65% 3 days later. Now think about 3 days ago, maybe you were on Instagram or Facebook and you recall a picture or something that you were kind of thrown into. You know, for me, I can vividly remember a car picture I saw on Instagram with it's an SUV out in the mountains. That's kind of my thing. So I remember that, and I think I actually tagged my girlfriend in that image, asking, can we go to that place? And it was a visual that drew me into that story. So the good news is there's a lot of options. Video isn't quite as hard as it used to be, like this poor guy here. Photographs aren't quite as difficult as they used to be because of this guy. This is actually my device. That is not me in the picture, however, but this is the device I use, the iPhone 7 Plus. It has 128 gigs in it. That's massive. Considering that camcorder in the first GIF, that would only store about 2 gigs. This iPhone has 128. And the opportunity to produce content, produce video, produce photographs has never, ever been easier, thanks largely in part to this thing. So it's okay to pull that thing out and start posting. But where do you put it? The options are kind of endless right now. You've got Facebook. You got Facebook video. You've got YouTube. You've got Instagram. And now you've got Instagram video. And you've got Twitter. You know, again, I'm going to echo that last point here. So this is why it's important to know your data. Because if you know where your audience is most engaged, you know where you're going to spend most of your time in posting that information, those videos, those photographs. So again, know your data. Know where your people are spending their time. Know where your content is best served up to your audience and your community. So, video views, again, video equals results. Video ads in particular, so you've seen those little ads. Most people probably hate them. They didn't ask for them, but they're still showing up in your Facebook feed. But those video ads, they actually work. So video ads increase purchase intent by 97%, and brand association by 139%. That's pretty staggering to me. That's 97% increase in purchase intent after seeing a video. And your brand awareness, which is everything I look for in social media when I build up my strategies, I want brand awareness and brand association increases by 139% by using video. So, speaking of video, let's look at this for a second.
Number one tip is content. Quality and consistency. It's not enough just to put anything out there on the internet, no matter where it is, but especially on Facebook. It's very important to make sure you have the right type of content, and knowing the type of content that Facebook puts emphasis on. If you've heard of an algorithm before, you'll know that right now, video content is really important to Facebook. So if you're posting video content, you already score higher organically.
So there's a lot of value in video on Facebook. Facebook is ranking it high. Facebook is giving it preference. It's giving it preference in when you serve up a video ad. It's giving preference in the algorithm and how it shows up in your friends' feeds and how it's performing in those feeds. Facebook is really, really trying to be a video-first platform. So know your audience, know your content, and know your context. But again, it's not just about video. Video doesn't tell all of your story. You need to tell a visual story as well, using images and photographs. What does that look like? Looks like using great pictures. Using color to evoke emotion is a great way to start that. So you want to make your photograph choices that reflect emotions of your brand, of your image. You know, if your goal is to have your customers come away with a sense that your brand is cheerful and positive, you know, make sure you're using those sorts of images. This is a great depiction here. This great bright yellow wall. It pulls me into an emotion, makes me feel happy. That's what images have the ability to do. Next, demonstrate value. What does that mean? It means photos can demonstrate the value of your product easily, particularly when the value is inspired by your customers. I'm a huge fan of what's called user-generated content, UGC in the social media industry. But this is when people are posting photos using your product, and you can repurpose those and post those on your channel, like this tent here. You know, do you have people that are you an outdoor company with, you know, people using your tents and posting them? Use those photos. Use that information to shape a visual story that tells about your product's range of use. This is a beautiful photograph of a product, of a tent, being used in its element. And you can use that stuff to shape your story of how your people are actually using your product. The next one might be one of my favorite images, but take us behind the scenes. See, this is, remember, everybody knows Kermit the Frog here. Everybody knows Jim Henson. Everybody wants to know, like, how did he actually pull all this magic off? If social media was around back then, it would have been incredible to see like how he did all this, how he started all this, what those sets looked like, how it looked like to actually make that happen. You know, behind the scenes is a great way of generating interest and content and engagement. There's a certain amount of mystery that's tied to every brand, and when companies offer you know, even a glimpse into what makes that work, you know, consumers are inspired and intrigued. They get more entrenched in your brand and your story. So the next thing I want to talk about, again, we bounce back over to video, but there's two tails of video here. You got live video versus on demand. On demand meaning that, well, let me show you. Live video versus on demand. On demand is really one of those types of videos you can just repurpose. It's convenient. It offers a higher production value, which means better storytelling and higher quality. But then on the other side of the ring, you have live video. And that allows you to showcase and share real-time experiences. It gives you those, again, behind the scenes. It's a little more affordable, and it's a lot more authentic. You really can't fake live video. Not to say that you can fake on demand, but you can put a little more time into developing those videos and the stories and making sure the setting and the lighting and the talent and everything is just right and correct. So live video versus on demand. Again, it's important to know your data and know how your audience is consuming your video, your images, your content, and what they're doing with it. So after you put that out there, is your audience performing better under live video, or are they performing better under on demand? Again, know your data. So I've thrown a lot of stuff out there about videos, photographs, images, and media. You're probably thinking to yourself, Jason, how do I get started? It's easy. So look at this. Platforms like Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, Twitter, even the iPhone and the GoPro have really made the opportunity to create video incredibly easy. It's a lot easier these days to get away with, don't tell my video guy said this, but lower quality video production than it was 4 years ago. It's no big deal to turn your iPhone on, hit the record button, save, and publish. Again, it's no big deal to take that same iPhone, take a picture, and publish it. It's no big deal to go live. Talk about your product, your services, your brand experiences, your events, your employees, your locations, your menus. The list just goes on and on and on. There's so many options of what you can do here using these simple tools of media creation these days. And this GIF here was a simple GoPro video this guy took across the world. I remember when it came out. It was super easy. It's a GoPro and a selfie stick. That's all. All right. Diving into the next one, moving right along. The greatest marketing tool ever. Is it? The smartphone. Yes, I'm going to say the smartphone is the greatest marketing tool ever. It's caught this cat's attention. He's trying to catch some fish on this iPhone, and I just love this GIF. Everybody loves a good cat GIF, but we're not here for those. We're here for the proof. 79% of people use their smartphone for reading email. That's a higher percentage than those who use it for making calls. Some of you are probably thinking to yourself, well, yeah, that's me. I am definitely, part of that percentage. The next one, average smartphone conversion rates are up 64% compared to the average desktop conversion rates. That's pretty big, 64% on mobile conversion. Mobile offers are redeemed 10 times more frequently than print offers. So when you're kind of trying to debate whether you want to put an offer out, it's redeemable via social, via email, or some other text format, think about that. Do you want to go digital, or do you want to go print? Mobile offers are being redeemed 10 times more frequently than print offers. I actually redeemed a 5% offer off today using Yelp because I signed up for a new restaurant, had it delivered. They gave me 5% for using Yelp, and it was a mobile offer. I redeemed it. I'm now ecstatic. Congratulations. So, are you optimized for mobile? Maybe. What does that mean, Jason? Good question again. Mobile optimization is the process of ensuring that visitors who access your site from mobile devices have an experience optimized for the device. To make that a little easier to understand, it means, are they getting the same experience on a mobile device as they would on their desktop? Does it look the same? Does it feel the same? Does it flow the same? Does the screen narrow down to the same size of the device and look like it would on a desktop? Does it do the same for a tablet? These things are important to know for people that are using your service, using your sites on their devices, on their tablets, on their mobile phones. You know, the good thing is a lot of our sites today, they're built on WordPress. So WordPress has a lot of those options, and Squarespace. Squarespace is great about optimizing for mobile. And if you've got someone building a site for you, make sure that they're building you what's called a responsive website. That is optimized for mobile. It responds to the device that you're looking at it on. Okay, that's important to know these days. So, optimize for mobile. Your audience is on their devices, always. And the chance of your marketing efforts landing directly in your audience's palms is at an all-time high. So take advantage of it, because the smartphone is the marketing unicorn. It is the greatest marketing tool ever. I will say that. And I will let you take this GIF in for just a second, because it's just that great. Okay, next, how to use your phone as a marketing device. Quite simple. We're going to use it as a camera, but not only just a camera, but an editing tool as well. This is one of my favorite photo editing tools called Visco, V-S-C-O. You can find it in your app store. It's a fantastic editing tool. It kind of will give you all the options of editing like a pro. Then you can take those photos and you can post them on Twitter right from your phone. You can just reply and respond to tweets on your phone and direct messages right on your phone. You can post those photos to Instagram. You can go over to Facebook and do the same thing, or start a video, share a video, post a video, tag someone, check in somewhere. Then you can use that same phone on that same platform, Facebook, and go live from wherever you are. Maybe even a mountaintop with penguins on it, like this guy. Or maybe you're in your warehouse and you're talking about the way your products are made. One of the favorite live streams I ever did was from a friend of mine's company, Moore and Giles. We did a live stream on how they make their leather sofas and their leather products, their bags, their chairs, and we took them through the whole process through the warehouse. That was a lot of fun. And the other way you use your marketing device is email. We send, we read, we receive, we check. You know, your phone is your greatest marketing tool. Take full advantage of it. Some of us, like myself, might take way too much advantage of it and spend way too much time on it. But that's a whole other story. Let's go to the next point as we're cruising right through this. Social customer service. This is a big one. I think this might be overlooked quite a bit in how much social media plays into customer service. So it's a little bit more than, have you tried turning it off again? Have you tried resetting it, hitting the power button? It looks like this. Gartner says that 90% of companies will supply customer care through social media by 2020. It's 90% of companies. And 71% of people who receive timely support on social media from a brand, from you, the small business, are likely to recommend that business to others. So think about that. 7% of people who receive support are likely to recommend that business. The options to get service are out there. I want you to take notice. The options to get service are out there. They can get service by going on Twitter. Some businesses like T-Mobile have dedicated Twitter accounts just for customer service. I mentioned earlier in the conversation that I reached out to Samsung via Twitter for customer support. They walked me through the entire process right there in my Twitter feed. It was fantastic. It was quick and efficient. Yelp, you have the chance to review, to get replies from reviews. We talked about our Yelp possibilities on our last webinar and how to get replies and responses and increase reviews. That was a great conversation we had there. And then Facebook. Facebook is actually rewarding might be the wrong word, but they are kind of rewarding and giving you ranking based off your response rate. So if you kind of see in that grayed out area, you have a 7% response rate according to this business. Facebook says that this person responds 7% of the time and 11-minute response time. Your goal should be 100% response rate in as quick amount of time as possible. It's because Facebook is looking at that. They have the option of rating you and ranking you. They're giving you stars now. So the options to get service and showcase that service that you give them are out there. The question is, are you opted in to give customer service? We looked at this stat last webinar, and I wanted to bring it up again because I think it's very applicable still. 95% of unhappy customers are likely to return to your business if a conflict is resolved quickly and efficiently. 95% of unhappy customers. Everybody, if you have a small business, you've at one point or another had an unhappy customer. It's bound to happen. It always is. But if you take care of that conflict and resolve it quickly and efficiently, like through replying to a Yelp review, replying to a Facebook post or a review there, you have the chance of resolving that and getting them back into your business in a matter of no time. So this is a great stat. I actually love this one, and it makes a lot of sense to me. The social proof. It's a 2013 study by Help Desk. They found that 80% of businesses believe they deliver superior customer service. Like we give the best customer service. But on the other side of that, only 8% of customers thought the same thing. That's quite a gap there. So maybe what you're doing isn't exactly superior. You may think that you're doing something there, but only 8% of customers may think the same. It's kind of, again, knowing your data and knowing what people are saying and how you're tracking that and what keywords you're looking for and the sentiment trends that you're understanding with your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, on down the road, and understanding that. So when you deliver great customer service, everyone sees it. Everyone sees when you deliver great customer service, and they're going to go talk about it. That's 74%. They're going to recommend your business when you deliver customer service. So don't forget that. That's the proof. Everyone's watching. So how do you deliver great customer service? Easy. Let me give you 4 quick tips. By making contact in your company, easy. You need to make sure that you have all your contact information on your Facebook, your Yelp, your Twitter, your website, anywhere that you might have a footprint online. Make sure that contacting your company is easy. Answer frequently asked questions. Maybe you get a lot of the same questions over and over and over again. Use social, use images, use video to answer those questions and post them on your social channels. And then bonus points, if you can take those same super frequent asked questions and turn those into blog posts. That's going to create incredible organic traffic to your site for you. Because if they're asking you those questions, chances are they might be searching for them online. So just take those questions you get asked, take note, write a quick 300 to 500 word blog post about it, and put it out there. Easy as pie. Next, live chat. This gives current and potential customers a quick and easy way to make contact with your company and get an immediate response. Again, I was working with a platform the other day that we're using here at JumpCrew, and I had a quick question, and I needed some help, and they had a live chat option. So instead of trying to call or wait for an email or go on Twitter, I just jumped on their live chat. Had a 15-minute conversation with them, back and forth, and we had the issue resolved in no time. It was perfect. Provide downloadable content. Develop white papers, guides, other downloadable pieces of content that solve common challenges, and maybe answer some of the big questions that your current and potential customers may have. It's important that you're keeping track of that. It's kind of like knowing your data, but it's also knowing the pain points that your customers might have. The next and final point, and we're coming in for a landing here. I promise we'll have you out of here in no time, is email marketing. We all remember this. You've got mail, followed by a series of noises and clicks and checks. But that was then. Email is not dead. I can't tell you how many times a week, a day, a month I hear that, oh, email's dead, it's not dying, blah, blah, blah. People are always talking about email isn't really the place right now, or is it? I believe it is. I would much rather spend my time in, like Jim Carrey here, replying to as many emails and sending out as many emails as I can to my target audience, those people that have opted in to receive my information. And actually, for every dollar spent, email marketing generates $38 in ROI. And it gives marketers the broadest reach of all the channels available to them. So take this into consideration. There's 4.3 billion email users, while there are 1.8 billion Facebook users. That's 3 times more email accounts than there are Facebook and Twitter accounts combined. There's way more email out there than there are social channels. Don't forget that. And 90% of emails, they get delivered to intending recipients versus only 2% of your Facebook fans seeing your posts in their feeds. Some of you may be familiar with what's called the Facebook algorithm. Some of you may hate the Facebook algorithm, but the Facebook algorithm is here to stay, it looks like. And it just says that, a very, very, very small percentage of your actual Facebook fans are going to receive your post. That's just the nature of the beast. That's what it is. That's why they want you to get ads and buy ads, and that's why we work constantly in developing consistent and congruent messages throughout social media. But emails, however, 90% of emails, they get delivered to the intended recipient. Email is there. And actually, mobile email opens have grown by 180% in the last 3 years. So here's what I think about that. Digital marketing continues to grow and grow and grow, and social media channels continue to swell and swell and swell. And with that, email open rates are continuing to grow. The amount of emails that we're consuming and requesting are continuing to grow and grow and grow. To me, social media is fueling email. So social media is the fuel to email. Don't forget that. Email, think about it. Email's been around. It outlasts. And actually, I love this fact. Email has a long history of stability. The first promotional email campaign was sent in 1978, and it was sent to a total of 400 people, and it's been growing consistently ever since. It's it's kind of like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going, right? It hasn't stopped. It outlasts everything. So the tools. What am I to use when I start my email marketing? What am I supposed to look for when I start putting these emails out there? And it's actually a really good question. There's a lot of different rules and regulations and laws that you have to be really careful of when you're sending emails and getting email addresses and how you utilize those. And there's tools like MailChimp and Constant Contact that are great at helping you manage that without really having to understand too much of it. Personally, I prefer MailChimp over Constant Contact. I've used MailChimp a lot, and really, if you just put out a quick Google search or reach out to somebody here at JumpCrew about what they should be using, we might really help you out with that. If you just do a quick Google search, there's a lot of free tools. MailChimp, Constant Contact, the list just goes on and on and on. You're going to find something that works best for you, and that's what's important, to find what works for you. So, email marketing. Take advantage. All right, so there's 3 times more email addresses than there are Facebook accounts and Twitter accounts. Here's what you want to do to take advantage. Bring your subscribers into your story. Take them to Wonderland. Share your top blogs on your posts. Send it out in an email. Share your favorite videos that you found throughout the week or the month. Share your most liked images, what people are responding to best. Share that in your emails, because maybe your email subscribers aren't your Twitter followers or your Instagram followers. Share those and try to drive them back to those channels as well. Share inspiration. So share stories around your brand that inspire people to use your product. Give them discounts. Reward subscribers for letting you occupy their inbox. I think that's quite an honor these days to be able to occupy someone's inbox and not get unsubscribed from. It may happen at some point over time, but for the time being, they have said, you know what, you can be in my inbox. This is a sacred place for me personally. And if I see discounts, just last month, I bought a pair of shoes from an email that offered me a significant discount. I was this guy, ooh, a piece of discount. Ooh, a piece of discount. That was me. I took that piece of discount and I bought a pair of shoes. All right. Make them an offer they can't refuse. If they're your email subscriber, give them some value. Make them offers. Have a great resource, send it out. Give them some value to being your subscriber. If you've got some downloadable white paper or some webinar that you're doing like this one, or you're going live at a certain point in time, send out emails letting them know what you're going to be doing, what you're creating, and the resources you have that are going to enrich their lives. This is probably my favorite slide of the entire presentation. Everybody loves an offer they can't refuse. So with that, we're done with our digital marketing tactics for 2017. I hope you learned a few things and that you're able to retain a bit of this and go back and utilize some data, incorporate more media, learn how to really utilize email marketing, and continue to grow your digital presence and strategy online. If you have questions or you feel like, wow, that was a lot of information you discovered, Jason, I have no clue where to start, I would encourage you to give us a call, give us an email, jump on Twitter, jump on Instagram, shoot us a message. Ask us to set up a call. Shoot info@jumpcrew.com an email. Set up some time to chat with us. Visit our website to see what we're about. We have a lot of qualified people in the office that can really help you with your digital strategies and your tactics. We have an army of a team that's working day in and day out tirelessly to develop content, to answer questions, to help guide you down that path of digital success. So if you have those questions, stick around and ask some questions here, but also feel free to reach out to us. Social media, we're at JumpCrew Co. everywhere. Email us, info@jumpcrew.com. Jump on our website. Get some questions answered there, see what we're up to, what we're about, and then if you want to talk to me personally, shoot me a Twitter or a tweet on Twitter @Yarby. That's simple. Shoot me a message. I'd love to chat, love to have a conversation. But with that, I'm going to open it up for some Q&A. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop some of those questions in the chat box here on our webinar. Love to stick around for a few minutes and answer those questions. I'm available for you here If we run out of time here, we can always, jump on Twitter if you're out there as well. So I'll leave it open for a couple of minutes if you have questions. If not, no worries at all. So good question here. We've got a question that says, what's the best time to publish a post or send an email? That's kind of the similar time. For emails, I always encourage people to send those out Tuesday mornings or Thursday mornings. Those are kind of the times that data from places like My Emma and MailChimp and Constant Contact are reporting, saying those are the best times to send them out that equal the best open rates. Me personally, if I'm doing an email, it goes out Tuesday morning, bright and early, so that when you get to the office or you get up in the morning and check that email, I'm in your inbox. And the best time to publish a post, that kind of differs as well. Like LinkedIn, for instance, it's weekdays between the times of 9 and 5. Facebook, it's in the mornings and it's in the nights. Wednesdays in the afternoons perform really well. I've been testing a lot of night publishing. You'll see a lot of brands doing the same thing as well, because if you really think about the times that are best to publish, it's when people are spending time on their phone. So after the day is over, you're kind of just relaxing. Maybe you're on the couch, get ready to go to bed, and you're just flipping through your phone, or it's first thing in the morning, or it's at lunchtime, or when you're on your breaks, right? So maybe 10 a.m., 3 a.m., those sorts of times. So again, it's about knowing your data and who your audience is. Maybe your audience is more spent on LinkedIn, and you want to invest your time, Monday through Friday, that 9 to 5 time frame, and most often like around 12 to 3. Good question. I get that one a lot. Still got a few more people hanging out in here. If anybody wants to jump on and ask a question, I'm gonna hang out open to it. If not, no worries. Would still love to hear from you. If you wanted to jump on Twitter and say hey to @JumpCrewCo, say hey to @Yarby. Next question. How many times should I post on Facebook per week? That's a great question. Again, it's about knowing your channels, knowing your audience. For me, I'm a big fan of 3 to 5 times per week. I think 3 times gives you that enough consistency to where you can develop and build your brand and create that frequency of engagement, so that you can begin to trigger the algorithm to say that these people are interested in my content, these people are seeing it, they're wanting to see more, and that it's, you definitely don't want to go any less than that. But 3 to 5 times is pretty the sweet spot. And actually, I was doing some research a few weeks ago, and I found that there's actually danger in overposting. So the article and the research that I was doing was saying that if you posted any amount of times over 60 per month was too much. You begin to endanger the frequency in which your content is seen and how the algorithm delivers your product, because you're just oversaturating. So you definitely want to find that sweet spot between 3 to 5 posts per week. Maybe a little bit more if you have the time or the amount of content to go out there. I'll stick around for one more minute before I let you all get back to your day, before I get back to all this social media nerdery that I've got going on over here. I own a business. Is it okay to post jokes on Facebook? Yeah, if that's a part of your brand and part of how people perceive you to be funny, to have personality, and to share those laughs, those jokes, those memes, then absolutely yes, incorporate that into your business, into your content. People love it when your business and your brand has personality online. Me personally, I love it when I can engage with the brand, or I see something the brand posts and it's got some humor to it. It's got an element of surprise and humor. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. It's 4:42. we have gone a few minutes over what we had projected, and I apologize for that, but thank you to the few that stuck around. Hope you've had a great time today and look forward to seeing you on our next webinar. With that, I'm going to go ahead and end the